Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to run a structured weekly client success review meeting using the data in GoCSM. Regardless if you're doing this solo or you have a customer success manager or multiple, or you have a customer success director or not, this is the rhythm that you can use to turn the GoCSM data from just a dashboard with tons and tons of data into a system that actually drives retention every single week. The whole review should take you about 30 to 45 minutes. And once you get used to it, and the output is going to be a short list of accounts that need specific action taken and clear next steps. So let's dive right into it. So here's the overview of all 5 steps before we dive in. So the steps are accounts requiring attention, login activity check, revenue signals, adoption spot check, and prioritizing and assigning. So the first step is going to be to start with the accounts that need the most attention. So you're going to go to health overview and then scroll down to accounts requiring attention table and then set your date filter from the top right to the last 7 days. The table is sorted by urgency, and GoCSM's AI has already generated a reason for each account explaining what's dragging the score down. So you'll be able to see that and go through each account on this list. You can click on the name, go into the account health hub, and write down 2 things: what's wrong with that account and what you're going to do about it. If you're running a meeting with your CSM team, with your customer success team, this is where you can also assign ownership for each follow up. So, hey, this account belongs to CSM number one. Here's the issue. What do you plan to do? Or you can assign to them whatever you believe the next steps are. If you're running this solo, this is going to be your outreach list for the week. The next part is login activity. So you can go to login activity overview and then look at the at risk and dormant accounts. You can click on each of these cards, and what it's going to do is that it's going to take you to the sub accounts tab with a filtered list of either the dormant or the at risk accounts, whichever one you clicked. And you'll notice that some of those names will be new. So accounts where login activity has dropped, but maybe the overall health score hasn't fallen far enough to trigger an alert yet. So those are going to be early catches. And this is the power of GoCSM, is catching the red flags as early as possible. So go ahead and add those accounts to your list. At risk, you can see here, it means 8 to 30 days with no login, and dormant means 30 plus days nobody in that account has logged in. The next part, step 3, is going to be checking the revenue signals. As a reminder, GoCSM connects to your SaaS configurator in your Go High Level agency. So you can go to revenue intelligence and sub accounts, and you can click on any of these cards here, and it's going to filter the list of sub accounts below this into whatever card you clicked on. So the first thing you want to click on is failed payments to see all the accounts who currently have an active failed payment. This is going to be top of your list to reach out and resolve those failed payments. And then click on declining accounts. Declining accounts means that they're spending less, more than 10% with you combined between their wallet and any other subscriptions. So maybe they downgraded their subscription, maybe their wallet charges are lower, maybe they canceled their WhatsApp and their WordPress subscription. Whatever it is, you're going to get a list of those accounts. Then you can click into each individual account, go into the account health hub, and see exactly what happened so that they ended up in the declining accounts category. You can also sort by SaaS revenue and the table below sub accounts in descending. So your highest value declining accounts are at the top. And what you want to do is focus on the top ones first, the people that are spending the most money with you, that started spending less money in the last 7 or 30 days however often you do this check. Step 4, you can do an adoption spot check. So go to product adoption and go to the features tab right here. And what you're looking at is total assets versus active assets for each of these. As a reminder, an asset is any of these, and then a feature is any of these, and then an asset is an individual asset within that feature. So Conversations doesn't have assets, but for SMS, an individual asset is a single SMS. For workflows, an individual asset is a single workflow. For payment products, it's an individual payment product. For calendars, it's an individual calendar, so forth, so forth. You'll notice some of them don't have individual assets, like contacts and conversations, but all of the other ones do. So if you see the gap between created and between total assets and active growing compared to the previous week, then that's a signal that clients are setting things up, or you're setting things up for your clients, but they're stalling on activation. And so things need to be activated. And so this might be worth a closer look at which specific accounts are actually driving that gap. And step 5, this is the prioritization and assignment. So at this point, from steps 1 through 4, you should have a list of anywhere between 5 and 25 accounts that need specific action taken this week. If you have too many accounts, prioritize them by MRR. Focus on the ones that are spending the most money with you. And then also focus on prioritizing by severity of the issue. For example, if one of the accounts all of a sudden has their new contacts created or calendar appointments drop by 80 or 90%, then that is a very severe issue that you're going to want to take a look at. The highest revenue accounts with the worst signals should go to the top of your outreach list. For each account, what you want to do is write one clear action. So you're going to reach out and do what? Ask them a question or get them to schedule a CSM call or a one-on-one, maybe send a targeted outreach message. Maybe you create a workflow that can cover 10 or 15 of those accounts, select all of them and add them to that workflow from GoCSM to make it easier on your outreach. You can even go inside of their accounts and activate any dormant workflows, anything that you think should be activated, you can activate it for them and then cross those accounts off of your list. But ultimately, keep it simple, just one action per account so that you can move through that list and address the biggest issues as fast as possible. If you're running this as a team meeting, each CSM should walk away from that team meeting with X number of accounts, specific assigned accounts, and a specific action for each of those accounts. If you're running this solo, just pick the top accounts by MRR and severity of issue, and then focus there. When you've crossed those off the list, focus on the next ones. So here's something that I want to bring to your attention at the start of the following week's review. Before you go and build a new list, go back and check last week's accounts and ask yourself and just check, did the outreach land? If you sent a login or reactivation reminder, did they actually log in? Did the health on those accounts improve? That if all of a sudden the feature adoption dropped, did it increase? Did everybody that's supposed to be logging into that account log back in? This should be a 5 to 10 minute check at the start of every review. And what this is going to do is make sure that you're learning from your mistakes and you're polishing your outreach copy, you're updating your workflows that you're adding these clients to try to reactivate them, fix any core issues with them. And from that point, each week builds upon the last one. So that's the whole review, 5 steps, anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes. And then you walk out knowing exactly which accounts need your attention and what you're going to do about each one. I hope you found this useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.